A little community located in the town of New Haven flourished, eventually disappearing as local areas started to evolutionize.
The Mills was named after Andrew Mills, who sold his fourth-generation land to new settlers, which then was turned into a small flourishing community called New Haven Mills. In this small town called New Haven Mills, there was a blacksmith shop, tavern, box company, sawmill, cheese factory, wagon shop, carding mill, trip hammer shop, general store, and a creamery.
There are very little records to the New Haven Mills, leaving people wondering what it was about. Over the years, many factories and stores tried to make a business stay. Sometimes there was multiple of the same type of store or factory in the mills.
Do you know anything about New Haven Mills?
New Haven Mill? No, not really.
The community flourished with many businesses and buildings. Everyone relied on each other. D.P. Nash was a very popular man in the mills. The village was once named the Nash Mills after him. He also ran many stores and factories. A carriage shop is on the right side center of the screen. In the lower right-hand corner is the way station the box factory used. On the top right-hand screen is a home that belonged to Langdon T. Smith, which still stands to this day. In the flood of 1927, this bridge was taken out. Later it was replaced and raised, so if there was another flood like 1927, the bridge may stand a chance. The mills had to struggle to stay up and running. In 1912, a fire burnt shops, factories, and the covered bridge. Again in 1924, there was another fire. Most stores didn't rebuild. The flood of 1927 is what did the town in. Nothing was rebuilt. A little community in New Haven became a ghost town. Deanna Boyce remembers being told in the 1927 flood her grandmother had to be taken out of the house by horseback because the water was so high. Searching for information about the mills, we came across a picture. This picture had names of the workers. One name read Mr. Ash. Deanna Boyce's maiden name was Ash. While being interviewed, the man had turned out to be her grandfather. Interviewing Deanna, we figured out where the buildings were along the river. After the flood, the only thing that stayed were farmers. The box company moved to Bristol. People looked to other places for supplies, as automobiles were becoming more popular.
The church still stands today, but it isn't in use, and in 1929, when people decided that it took too much money to keep it, they shut it down. This all started at the start of the Depression.
It hasn't changed at all that much.
The Lamson School was given to the town by Curtis M. Lamson, who grew up in the mills and wanted to give back to his town on his last trip to America from London.
And it's been converted into a 2-apartment house. The Riverside Cemetery was used by the people who lived in the mills. Most of the stones still around, but unlegible from the weather erosion. We also took a little trip to the New Haven River under the Munger Street Bridge, where we found structures of buildings. We later figured out it was the structure of the dam that was used in the mills. This was the center point of the small community.
Do you remember the kids coming from the New Haven Mills School to Beeman when the mills were down?
Yeah, I do. I remember that. Yeah. That was probably, boy, I must have been just about in the first grade then when I...
Must have been.
Betty. Yeah. Because she's a lot older than I am.
You keep telling me that. They should know it by now. Now that you said that, what is your age?
Huh?
What is
77.
77. Lord, I'm only 80, almost 84.
I know,
You're not
I
far
said.
behind me.
Oh, dear.
New Haven Mills changed due to the devastation and the evolution of a time period. Not getting to grasp what exactly New Haven Mills was. In the words of Deanna Boyce, it's up to our generation to document what we do so our mark can be left in this world.